Hello, lovelies. My name is Dr. Lisa Matejka, and I help those with cancer navigate their inner journey towards health and wellness on all levels physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually to stack the odds in their favor and self realize wholeness without having to suffer and figure it out alone. And today, I've put out a few mental, emotional wellness videos lately, and I thought today would be a good place for a change of pace and to get back to good old-fashioned naturopathic medicine. Not that the two are not interrelated, because they are. Well, with modern naturopathic medicine, there actually is a lot less emphasis on holism. That's a whole nother story. But old school naturopathy actually does teach that the biggest challenge to our physiology will be the effective management of toxins, physical as well as mental and emotional. And guess which one is the most important? Emotional toxins. And that is not just something I'm saying. That is what is taught by famous naturopaths like Dr. Dick Tom. So there definitely is a connection with emotional wellness and naturopathic medicine. I guess what I'm trying to say is today I'm going to focus on physical health and naturopathic medicine. So this video is actually inspired by very recent events. Long story short, some synchronicities occurred and I effortlessly found myself attending this event called Doctor Days at Hippocrates Wellness Center in West Palm Beach, Florida. Only a few hours from me, actually. I actually didn't know there was such a place so close by. So Doctor Days is like an exclusive event where health professionals such as myself are invited to come for 4 days, experience the place, network, learn all kinds of cool stuff. And yeah, Hippocrates is a 60-acre tropical paradise overnight retreat center for people that are very sick, a lot of them cancer patients, other things too, and then also people that are just going there for annual detox, health maintenance type stuff. And just being there and immersed in this experience, it really just reminded me of the power of the basics, the fundamentals, like diet. The dirty 4-letter word, diet. Yes. Okay, so nowhere in this video am I going to tell you what diet you should be eating for cancer, which one is the best for cancer, because there's so many. I mean, there's the Mediterranean diet, which perhaps has technically the most research on it for being anti-cancer. There's the ketogenic diet, which gained popularity with its usefulness in recent years, although we are kind of finding out some of the nuances with that one, and it may not be quite as good as we initially thought. Not to say it's bad. There's all kinds of diets people are saying they cured their cancer with: macrobiotic, microbiotic, things that are good, like low carb, allergen free, gluten free, sugar free. Of course, some of these can be combined together as well. And there's paleo, and there's all sorts of stuff. Then there's specific protocols as well for cancer, like Budwig and Gerson, and the list really does go on and on. And then of course there's the raw organic vegan diet, which is what Hippocrates touts. And so I'll just give you a little information as to what they're doing for their cancer patients. They are, yes, very much into the all raw vegan organic diet, and that's largely because cooking food does kill 100% of the enzymes of the plants and a lot of the nutrients, not all of them, but a lot. They're really big on juices, so they recommend 12 to 16 ounces of green juice twice daily, and their signature concoction happens to be celery, cucumber, sunflower sprouts, and pea sprouts. And then sometimes there's various additions like blue-green algae, ginger, garlic. But yes, sprouts are very important there, extremely important. I would say most of the food there is probably sprouts, actually. And also wheatgrass is a big thing. Wheatgrass is a sprout, and they do encourage the wheatgrass shots, 2 ounces, 1 to 2 times daily. as well as 6 ounces twice a day rectally. Now, don't try this at home, kids. You really do need to talk to a health professional before attempting something like that, because it is not a safe thing for everyone to do. But it is an interesting thing. And back to the sprouts. So I knew sprouts were good for you, but I really it was just all these like, oh yeah, I need to get back to that. I need to get back to that. So I wanted to share this with you guys. So did you know that sprouted foods contain anywhere from 50 to 270 times the nutrient density as their adult counterparts? And they're extremely easily digestible by the body, really easy on the digestive system, and assimilate very well within the body. So it's really a win-win. Now, it can be really hard to find sprouts in the stores, and there's different stages of their growth. So microgreens are technically sprouts, and like sprouted legumes with just a couple hairs, those are also sprouts, as well as the ones we're more familiar with, like the ones that look like alfalfa sprouts. So if you can't find a good selection of these at your grocery store, which is quite possible, what you can do is just look into your local farms, any local farms that are nearby or in your city or town. And a lot of times they grow sprouts and will deliver them, or you can go there and pick them up and just buy direct from farm, and then they're fresh, and it's so worth it to take that extra step. It really can do a lot for your health. And you can also learn to sprout things yourself, which could be a fun little homesteading project. It's actually quite easy to do. You can find tons of tutorials on YouTube and whatnot. So the main point I'm trying to make here with this is just let's be a little bit motivated and inspired to clean up our diet a bit and maybe add in more plant-based meals and more raw meals as well. And organic, when you're doing that, organic and non-GMO is very important as well. Okay, but what is the best dietary advice for you? So to truly get the best dietary advice for you, I recommend seeking out a naturopath or a naturopathic doctor. I mean, same thing, it just depends what state you're in, what terms can be used. Seek out a naturopath, a nutritionist, a dietitian to really give you some individual advice, because diet really is an individualized art and science. And I call it a science. It's a science because of what it actually provides that your body needs, as far as what specific type of cancer you have, what other health conditions you have, what your body's unique physiology is like. And this is where a thorough health history intake and labs come in. This is what I do with my patients. And to really kind of know what is really needed by the body. And then it's also an art, though, because there's other factors just besides health. There's, ethical factors, and that's not just not eating meat. It's also, where certain plants are procured from, where they come from, how they're harvested, environmental impacts. And then there's also social factors, like how is this new diet going to be integrated into your family meals? I mean, there's all sorts of things to consider. So it's really good to work with somebody one-on-one with this, which is what I recommend. And then I'll mention this too, there's also personal factors like your willpower, your willingness to accept change, your outlook, your attitude. Those things can really make a difference too with how easy or hard this will be for you. Here are some statistics I did want to share. I'm not trying to exactly have an agenda here, but these are real statistics. So compared to non-vegetarians, vegans and vegetarians have 8% overall reduced cancer risk, 23% reduced GI tract cancer risk, so that's anything from esophagus, stomach, pancreas, gallbladder, rectum. 35% reduced prostate cancer risk, 50% reduced colon cancer risk. All-cause mortality, just 10 to 20 reduced risk of anything. And so there's no difference in the rates of getting lung, breast, or uterine cancer, but there is a difference in the mortality from it. So those who were vegetarians or vegans had a 48% reduced risk of actually dying from the breast cancer once they got it, even though just as many of the just as many veg versus meat people got it, but the veg people had a better survival. You get what it is I'm saying. And so you might be wondering why this is. I mean, there's various factors. I can't really go through all of them, but I mean, with people who are eating more of a plant-based diet, there's just a larger variety of phytonutrients and enzymes and antioxidants that are taken in to sort of mitigate a lot of the free radical DNA cell damage and things of that nature. Plant diet is said to support a larger diversity in the microbiome, which is really important to gut health. And also these people, the vegetarians, vegans, tend to have lower BMI, so then overweight and obesity is not as much of a risk factor. And then there's other things too. And by the way, these statistics, this is not any kind of vegan or vegetarian diet. These were taken from people that were eating a relatively whole foods-based vegetarian vegan diet. So I can't say you'd get the same results eating nothing but like processed vegan food. That's not the way to go with this. I'm not saying every now and again, but. So here's a really cool thing. So I've talked about this before, but a lot of the studies that have been done on spontaneous remission in cancer, largely thanks to Kelly A. Turner. So she, and her research has been updated recently. So it's taken from like tens of thousands of cases of people that had cancer that went through a spontaneous remission. And there were 10 common healing factors found. And one of them is diet change. Would you like to know which diet it is? There wasn't one. Trick question. There was not one specific type of diet that was found to be in common with the people who had spontaneous remissions, but there was this in common. They did all change their diet from whatever it currently was to these common threads. Either a decrease or elimination, so decrease or elimination of, yes, meat, dairy, gluten, refined sugars, those are important things as well. Decreasing or eliminating refined sugars, gluten, yes, meat and dairy, and increasing the amount of vegetables and fruits to at least half the plate size. So that was the only things the diet had in common with those who went through spontaneous remissions. So yeah, change, you know, some of you are willing to change your diet. You're just stuck like, well, I don't know what to eat. There's so much information on the internet. There's so many different diets. Well, maybe what I just said about the spontaneous remission will help ease your mind. There's not like, you don't need to worry about finding the diet. There are certain common threads that are going to be really beneficial for your health. But also, yeah, I definitely recommend seeking out an individual, a professional, whether it's a naturopathic doctor, nutritionist, dietitian, somebody that can really help you through this process that will take your very unique body and needs into account. And for others of you, it's not so much that you don't know what diet to do, it's just the change is hard. And trust me, I know change is hard. But drastic changes are sometimes necessary, very necessary. So we've all heard Einstein's quote, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, then you're an insane person. And it works like that with cancer too. Whatever lifestyle you were living when you got cancer, you can't just keep living that lifestyle and get rid of your cancer. Not fully and completely anyways. So you might be wondering, well, which part of my lifestyle led to the cancer? And that's the thing, we might not know exactly. We probably won't be able to pinpoint exactly what it was. It could have just been emotional in origin, and then changing diet may not be that important. Or it could be more purely physical, toxic overload from toxins, bad diet, not exercising. But the thing is, here's the smart thing to do, because it's the safest and surest way, is to just upgrade and up-level all arenas of your lifestyle. You won't regret it. It's only going to make every aspect of your life better. So, yes, like Einstein said, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result is insane. There's other ways of putting it too. There's other phrases I like. If you continue to think the way you've always thought, you'll continue to get what you've always got. Very simple, but it's nice because it rhymes. But it's true. It's very true. And yes, it all starts with our thoughts and our thinking. So that's one I like. And I also like, if you want things in your life to change, i.e. getting well from cancer, then you gotta change. Or if you want things in your life to change, i.e. getting better from cancer, then you gotta change things in your life. Things like diet. So hopefully this gives you a little burst of motivation and inspiration to make some good, healthy changes. And you know what? Don't think of it as a loss. Think of it as a gain. You have everything to gain. Getting your health back, feeling better, vitality, energy, longevity, a stronger immune system, sharper, more focused brain, anti-aging, just every tissue and organ in your body can benefit. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose but a few food addictions. And really, you don't even, here's a hack, you don't even have to actually lose that. So I worked with a cancer doctor, a naturopathic cancer doctor, who actually totally let his patients eat their favorite foods every once in a while, not all the time, because he said it was good for their emotional health. Because emotional health, of course, as I talk about a lot, needs to be taken into account as well. Which is interesting because it leads me back to one of my old videos that I did, Frequency Beats Chemistry, about how our thoughts and emotions really can overpower our biochemistry. So I'm not trying to influence you all to just eat your favorite foods all the time. It's okay to have some cheat meals or some cheat days. Now, I can't tell you how often. It really depends how serious your situation is. I wouldn't do a cheat meal more than once a week. If you have a more serious situation, less than that. And so it's like, you know, it's all about finding that balance sometimes and really just doing the best that you can. Because here's another way to look at it. All you have to be better than is yourself last year, last month, last week, yesterday. Just one step at a time, one healthy choice at a time, one bite at a time, and habits and patterns can change. So again, let's keep it simple. What to eat? More plants, more raw, and more as close to nature as possible. You know, less processed, more organic, non-GMO, that sort of thing. And again, just don't be overwhelmed, one bite at a time. Okay, lovelies, I think that's everything I was going to share with you. And again, if you found it helpful or think somebody else might, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff, because it's really just about helping as many people as I can with this information. All right, much love and goodbye.